Good morning, guys. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm switched over to my phone now. I started my live video through my laptop, which I always do, and it's telling me that you're temporarily blocked. It looks like you were misusing this feature by going too fast. You've been temporarily blocked from using it. If you think this doesn't go against our community standards, let us know. Okay, so I don't know what that means or why. So I'm gonna sort of just like take it kind of from the top. I was saying that I had decided not to have children until I met my husband. And we were having some discussions around exactly what having a child would look like. And we were together, so we both been married and divorced once before. At this time, when we met, my stepson was 11. So we were together for a couple years before we moved in together. It was 3 years that we were together before we decided to have children. So, I mean, I was in my early 30s and he was in his early 20s, and it was painstakingly slow at the beginning, but we're really glad that we did. I was saying that we were having some discussion about child rearing and what each of us thought the roles of mother and father looked like. And I recommend this to couples before bringing a child into their relationship, because it sets the stage to clear up any differing preconceived notions before you're sleep deprived, unshowered, and covered in stuff that used to be inside your child, right? What I think a mom is and should be and should do and not do, and the same with the father, there were some differences between what my spouse thought, which is natural because we're different people and we've had different experiences in our lives. So before we had children, it was really helpful for us to say, hey, a mom does or doesn't do this, and a dad does or doesn't do these things, or behave in these ways, or have these responsibilities. And it was good that we kind of cleared that up. So back to the story. Because I had met my forever guy and he already had a great son, and we decided to bring our dog into our family, and that was perfect. And basically our whole lives were 10 out of 10. I really, truly believed that parenting was going to work out exactly like it did in my imagination. I mean, why wouldn't it? I knew how I wanted to parent. I knew the kind of mom I wanted to be. I had the perfect spouse and the father for our future children. So what can go wrong? Now, if you have children of your own, you already know how wrong things can go. And if you don't have children yet, I'm about to share some of what I wish I had known before becoming a mother. Now, I usually start with this one when I have this conversation with people, and maybe I'm being a bit dramatic, or I enjoy the shock and horror on other moms' faces when I say it. But the truth is that most of them nod with at least a little bit of understanding before I even go into any further explanation. And this particular wish was the wish that I had known that I was going to die. Not eventually, not someday, but that I was going to die when I became a mother. And it might sound like excessively strong language, but I did warn you. So let me explain. After my son was born, my firstborn, and once I could organize my emotions and my thoughts into a somewhat straight line, that's really how I felt. I felt like I had died, and it's still how I choose to describe what happens to a mother the instant that she becomes one. And here's why. When your baby takes their first breath of life, your life begins anew. Everything you thought you knew about life and who you are as an individual now changes forever. So my girlfriend Bridget, still completely high on whatever drugs they give you in the hospital to make you be able to deliver twins, phoned me as soon as the girls were born. And she said, Melissa, everything is different. Even the sky is bluer. And she's right. Because you have a new filter that ubiquitously colors your new world. And many aspects of your life will remain the same, but your perceptions and reactions of them will be different once they come through this new filter of motherhood. And this is going to encompass, without exclusion, worry, playfulness, extreme fatigue, curiosity, wonder, overwhelm, disbelief, a total loss of time management skills. Okay? So please don't fret about this if you're not a mom, or if you haven't had this experience being a mom, because I'm sharing my experience in case there's somebody out there who finds value in them. And if it doesn't stick, just let it slide off with everything I say. If it doesn't stick, let it slide. So your baby will be growing and changing at an exponential rate. And you'll be adapting with them as they do it. And as adults, we haven't typically made that many mental, emotional, and physical changes simultaneously since we were children. So please don't underestimate the underlying stress that this can cause you. It's like ninja stress. You never knew it was there until you've been knocked on your ass. Part of this death that I'm talking about, this metaphorical death, I wish that I had known about the missing pieces. And further to that, so before I had children, I considered myself a very confident person. I was self-motivated and responsible. I had a great memory, and I considered myself the kind of person who got stuff done. I mean, I was busy, but I still had time for myself. And I used to use that time for stuff that I really enjoyed, like reading and walking and concerts and yoga and hanging out with friends and baking and leaving the house after 6 p.m., wake surfing in the summer, exploring new foods and places, and dedicated regular attention to my physical body. Well, where are those pieces now? I mean, those were some pretty useful skill sets, not to mention fun. The fun also went missing from my life, and I'm not sure if it's chemical or what, but I'm almost 12 years in, and I'm not sure that all those skill sets are coming back. Sometimes that's hard to deal with, to not be able to be the kind of person that I was before, in my eyes and consequently in the eyes of other people. So this motherhood filter, just like on social media, is coloring the world in ways that made me second guess everything. I no longer trusted myself. And between other moms, family, friends, midwives, OBGYNs, family doctors, neighbors, movies, books, talk shows, and my husband, there were plenty of opinions and suggestions to go around. And I began to feel unintended stress and pressure from all those groups of people too. Understanding that everyone means well came colliding head on with feeling like an idiot. And the only thing on the line was now the most important person in my entire world. My confidence was rocked like never before because I'm a people pleaser, and it hurt me not to take suggestions from well-meaning loved ones. So I just sat there confused between the contradictory suggestions and opinions of the people around me. So I try and tell parents wherever I go. I probably even said it to you when I'm out in public and I see these beautiful tiny creatures and these parents with them, new parents. I say, and this is completely unsolicited, and I'll be like, can some crazy Walmart lady give you unsolicited parenting advice? And they usually laugh and say yes. And I say, remember that only you who live with this child day and night and have sworn your life to it know what is best for it. And trust that above all else. When you're feeling overwhelmed and confused and inundated, just take a minute and ask yourself, what do I think? What do I know that my child needs? I wasn't able to do that, and I kind of feel like this was the time in my life when I became deaf towards my intuition. So my intention, again, when sharing this with you is not only to create connection, because it's incredibly heavy to feel alone in this world. And if someone had said these things to me before I became a parent, I may have felt more prepared and less alone. So again, on the tiniest chance that my words may do for someone what I wish they would do for me, is why I'm speaking to you now. And I promise that I'll continue to let you know what else is on my list in episodes to come. Okay. Speaking of episodes to come, my beautiful friend Heather will be joining me in a couple of weeks for a discussion about whatever you want. So comment or DM me your suggestions, and I will be posting details as they come in. I'm not going to do a live Facebook with this one. What we're going to do is we're going to go Zoom live in the evening. So you'll need to sign up for it. Watch for the sign up. I'll be posting it on Instagram and Facebook and things like that closer to the date when I have all the details. But in order to get you the details, I need to know what you want us to talk about. So please let me know what you want us to talk about so I can get you those details. And until next time, let's be honest and kind.